Good morning from Rwanda. We're here at the MWC 2025 in Kigali. I'm together with Ayman Essam, Chief External Affairs Officer of the Vodacom Group. Nice to meet you, Ayman.
Nice to meet you, Akim, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome, you're welcome. MWC 2025 is a lot about Africa's voice. So from Vodacom's perspective, what does Africa's voice mean in global digital policy and innovation today?
So Africa's voice is about gathering all stakeholders of the industry to push it forward. So in Vodacom, our purpose is to connect for a better future. So connecting for a better future would require that we're enabled to do so. Enabled by multiple partnerships, enabled by policies, by regulations, enabled by availability of funds and investments. So when we talk about only Vodacom, we think connecting for a better future and the 260 million customers we want to acquire between now and 2020 and 2030. But when you look at it from an Africa perspective, it's getting everyone together. It's all those partnerships that we need to bring together with smartphone manufacturers, with policymakers, with regulators, with investors, with FDIs. So this is where Africa Voice should be, that we are all together to achieve the purpose for us, which is connecting for a better future for all those people of Africa.
All right, very interesting. So in your view, what needs to change at the global level so Africa's priorities in connectivity, innovation and digital policy are better recognized?
Well, I would say we need to all be realizing that we all have the same goal.
Yes.
So all, but when I say all, I mean all as in governments, regulators, policymakers, industries, telecommunication providers, partners. We all have the same goal, which is the betterment of the lives of Africans. And if we all recognize that this is the goal we all share, that's when things start happening. That's when we understand that we can bring in investments all together and we all benefit from it. We can do infrastructure together. We can work together towards providing more services to the customers. Because remember, the telecom sector is the sector of sectors. Yeah. That's where all other industries, that's where the healthcare, that's where the agriculture, that's where industrial, that's where e-commerce, they all depend heavily on telecommunications. So when you think of it, you bring in all these people together to drive the sector forward. It's not only for the sector or the MNOs in the sector, it's for every citizen, every industry, every player in the economy. Coming together means this is good for everyone.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. At Vodacom Group, how are you working to ensure that African voices aren't just heard, but also shape the direction of global digital infrastructure and regulation?
So there are a number of activities, I would say. So we've been actively participating in the B20, advocating for what we believe is best for the industry and the African citizens. And some policy recommendations came out of the B20, so that's one level. We reach out to all partners, all possible partners, whether in the healthcare, example of which is what's happening in Egypt nowadays with Vodafone Egypt, part of the Vodacom Group, is offering healthcare digitization for over 6 million people. And what's happening in South Africa with the partnership with Eskom. We reach out to partners of MNOs, groups, partners, while we compete on so many fronts, but in certain fronts we can actually collaborate for the betterment of the citizens in multiple countries. And so I would say it's the partnerships we do and it's the policy advocacy we do that would eventually lead to being the heard voice or having all those voices heard as African voices.
So partnership is crucial.
Of course, very much, very much.
All right. When it comes to investment and partnerships, what do you think is the single biggest barrier holding back the continent from playing a bigger role in the global digital economy?
All of the stakeholders in the industry realizing that we only have one goal, as I said. So we just wish that all players realize and with emphasis, when I say all players, with emphasis on governments and policymakers, that we are all on the same side. We are all on the same side. We want all the same thing. We want every African citizen to have the life they deserve. We offer a lot of investment infrastructure. Hundreds of billions have been spent on infrastructure around Africa to achieve this goal. And we just want all of us to be partners in the success of seeing those happy faces of citizens of Africa, because they are well served. So that's I guess, how it all boils down to.
So are you optimistic?
I am optimistic and at Vodacom, because when you wake up for that purpose of connecting for a better future, when you're driven by much bigger than what you really are, it's those, when you see those happy faces, when you see that you've been able to serve, you've been able to provide a decent life, you've been able to give connectivity. I mean, I'll take it to a very, very small example. When you're able to give a connectivity to someone who needed to call the ambulance for the urgency of it, for someone they love needs this ambulance, and you're part of that. It just feels great. And that's what wakes us up in the morning in Vodacom. That's what is always on our mind. How do we offer this role much better every day?
Thank you. That sounds like a very impactful work.
We hope.
So looking ahead, what concrete step would you like to see by the next major intervention to demonstrate Africa is more than just a market? It's a partner and driver of digital change. I mean, we had a brief conversation earlier where you said you would like to see action.
Yeah, the action I'd like to see is that in the next intervention, like this we're in, or any other big intervention, what would make me sleep better is to see governments, policymakers, regulators, partners in the industry, mobile operators, ISPs, all sitting on one table deciding that we take it backward. How do we make the life of every African citizen better? And what would it take? And then we all sit together. Maybe, this is sort of a crazy dream, but sit together, all of us, discuss how do we make it better? What does it need for us to make it better? And for me, when this happens, that's where I feel that we are on the right track of achieving the purpose of connecting for a better future for every African.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time and for the conversation.
Thank you very much.
That was TechAfrican News from MWC 2025 here in Kigali. You can find more on techafricannews.com.